Welcome back to the second half. If I recall, we're just about to climb on top of a church.
Yes.
So, out of the back entrance from which staff and, more specifically, the local preacher arrives from, there is a cleverly hidden into the ornate edificery ladder that is not immediately visible until you are quite close and looking specifically for it, that will allow you to scale this side of the building and reach the roof for cleaning purposes. You can see that it's been reinforced so that servitors can grip easily with their sometimes enhanced limbs and climb it. Should be absolutely no problem for two healthy athletic individuals such as yourselves to make it to the top.
Is this the only way onto and off of the roof?
It would appear that this is the only standard way to get onto and off of the roof. Surely there could be several other ways. There are other buildings nearby. You know, outside the front door that there is a Arbite precinct, a fortress precinct, from which they dispatch both judgment and arbitrators throughout the planet. It is slightly taller than the Ministorum Church, so there could be some way, if you were capable of jumping a great distance across a street, to jump from one building to another. There are other shorter buildings scrunched up. It is a hive city after all. Even if you are on the top level, the most cleanest and safe level, there's still not a lot of extra space, you know. Perhaps someone could stand on top of them and throw a grapple over. But this is the only direct access.
Before we go up, it's worth considering that either whoever is doing this is escaping by the roof, or they may be coming out of events somewhere else in the cathedral and leaving via the ground floor, or they may be remaining within the building in between their defilements. Are we better served simply waiting for tonight when we know they'll be here, or should we continue pursuing this investigation up on the roof?
I think we should try to locate any additional ingress points before we make that decision.
All right. Let's go up.
Yeah.
Who is going up first?
Eshairr should probably go first since I'm bigger.
Yep.
So I don't want to break something.
This will easily carry your weight. As I mentioned, it has been reinforced for servitor usage. But Eshairr, can I have you make a awareness check as you begin climbing this particular structure? The difficulty is 5.
Oh, let's just see. I may as well have a go at rerolling with this. So I'll spend a wrath point.
Very well.
Sorry, one of those dice was already a success, but well, that is enough. It's 5.
As you are approaching, you pause for a moment before putting your hand on the last rung to pull up. Despite the level of reinforcement here, there is a trap that has been laid. That this top rung, when pressure is applied to it, you look very clearly. It will remove itself, and in the process, something will force a blade to come out and strike you in the human chest. It's primitive, right? But there is some cleverness to its design.
Can it be disarmed? Or at least triggered in a way that won't harm somebody?
It does appear that you could disarm it with some effort.
I mean, I'm happy to just climb past it and then pull the rung from above so the blade swings out and hits nothing. That might be the best way to remove it.
Very well, you do so. In the process, the knife comes out. You see it is no mere regular knife. This is a mono knife.
Can I extract the knife from the mechanism?
Absolutely. It is meant to be easily done so.
Cool. Free knife.
Yeah, free mono knife.
The blade is super fine and has been worked quite well. So there is an etching along the side of the blade in High Gothic, which I believe you speak.
I do.
It says "Glory be," and the other side of the blade, when you turn it, says "Emperor's will."
I'll wait here for the scout to come up.
Kalrak, you arrive on the roof, and Eshairr is turning over a particularly finely made knife.
Awkward silence ensues.
Two of you just stand on a roof and look at the knife.
We're both just staring at this knife
Yeah,
because it's a very nice knife.
Yes.
We need to be
As you
wary
can
for more
see-
traps.
This side has Gloria Patri, and this side has Dominus Nos.
Is this knife a is it like normal, like human sized knife?
Yes.
Or is this like a okay?
So, it's been made out of tempered materials that are cut of a higher level of quality, right? Like, this is not something you would affix as a bayonet. This is a weapon very clearly meant to kill people, but on the other hand, it appears to have been custom made for someone.
Okay. It's bespoke.
The wording would seem to indicate as servant of your God Emperor.
Yes. Well, we need to be wary for more traps. We'll bring the knife with us and hold on to it as evidence should we find more clues. But that does, I guess it kind of helps us narrow. I mean, I want to say it would narrow down, but I mean that it, point us more towards death cult than anything. But that's not necessarily true.
Could just be a plan by chaos to make you think that.
It was Zinch all along, just as planned.
Made one of the classic blunders, the most well known of which is this.
Right. Well, I mean, I want to look for more, see if we can find all the ingress points and events or anything on the roof.
Yes, there are several vents at the top, but only one of them would be large enough for someone to enter, of any moderate size. And based upon a little bit of blood spatter, it seems that someone who had recently stepped in blood either smeared it here or passed on this roof.
Okay. I'll activate my comm bead and relay to Lycus that we found a vent opening with blood spatter leading to and from it.
As you get this, Lycus, you can see that 8-year-old Progena is arguing fearfully with Antipho. She's just, I'm sorry, I cannot go out there to interrupt the preacher. He is speaking to the people, the Imperial citizens. Even for a Tempestus such as yourself, I could not interrupt him. That would be wrong.
We'll wait.
I'd like to go in there. I would like to go in there immediately. So I'll go in for you.
Sorry, you're just gonna walk away from this girl and head to his quarters? His
No,
private-
I'm going to interrupt the priest.
Oh, okay. All right. She just like reaches out and goes, "No, don't."
Would you like to take us into the priest's chambers?
I like that you're forcing this 8-year-old to make the decision.
Yeah,
This is very 40K. I approve.
no.
Either I interrupt the priest or you just let's go in there.
She
How much longer is he going to be speaking?
moves to stand in front of you and holds her hands out. So let's be clear here. The front entrance of this cathedral is like 7, 8, 10 people wide. Like, she could not physically stop you, but she's standing in front of you and she says, I won't let you do this. To injure the hearts of the people would be heresy.
Then
I think you
take
found a
us-
new recruit for the Battle Sisters.
I like look at her nodding approvingly.
Oh yeah, by the way, her knees are shaking. Like, her whole body is running on pure adrenaline right now. She's super afraid of both of you.
I kneel down and I pat her on the head and I say, "You're brave, little one. I'll wait until he's done."
And you stab her to death. But you have stopped the work of the Inquisition.
This child attempted to bribe me with a sandwich.
All right. Lycus. Antipho has declared his resolution to remain here until the priest is done speaking.
Very well.
I mean, he's blocking your vision of her right now, right? Like, you could sneak. You don't even have to sneak off. He's much larger than she is. You could just start walking away and she would never see you.
I think Lycus just goes ahead and just walks to the priestess chambers.
All right.
I don't have time to wait.
She doesn't
That's
even
fine.
notice that you're gone. She's 100% involved in Antipho patting her on the head, which she has put somewhere between like affection and an attempt to murder her.
Of course.
That's a fair approximation.
Lycus, you head down the wing to the vehicle garage, the side abbey where, you know, like offices are. This is where the cells that the repentant were stored in before, and you find your way to the the scrollwork outside says Preacher Wilmot Ritter. The sigilry is fairly nice. I mean, it looks like he's put some work into, at the very least, the outside of his office. When you open the door, there are bookshelves from which pour scrolls, leather-bound books. There's a servitor inside that's like gathering things up and placing them. The room is sizable, and in the center of the room, at the desk, which is long and made of some fine-grained wood, dark, 3 packs of 4 skulls have been gathered up and placed on the desk in various parts. There's been like circles surrounding them in like salt. Various inscriptions have been carved into the desk to ward off any chaos influence. There are tomes across the desk opened. What do they call those? The specific name for a bookmark that's like a strap that comes out of the book. There are several of those like open in these tomes. The servitor doesn't acknowledge your presence. It continues to like pick things up off the floor and place them back onto the shelves wherever it can.
I would like to first inspect the skulls if possible.
Okay. You
Then-
get close to the skulls. You start looking at them. What are you looking for?
Would be able to identify any sort of heretical or know some sort of way to tell if something's heretical, like the classic pour some holy water onto it, or
I don't know if that's a thing in Warhammer 40K.
Not
but-
really. It's not going to like start to bubble or anything
Yeah,
like
there
that.
would be tests to look for heretical iconography, right? Like tiny runes carved into the skull. Maybe sensing, if you were a psyker, you would sense power emanating from it.
That would be your best bet. Is if you were head psychic, you could tell.
should have got that psychic training. I'll just take like a magnifying glass or something and just look at, like, examine each of the skulls, see if there's any sort of small runes or anything.
Oh, he has a magnifying glass there. You know, like a big ass one.
Yeah, that has like the ring light to it.
It's attached to his desk too, right? Like, so he can look through tomes. Yeah. You don't find any, you know, chaotic markings as you look. If they are there, they would be at a level far beyond the visible spectrum of the human eye. Incredibly small. You do note that several of these skulls have damage to them. At least one has a small knife has been jammed into the back of the skull, right? Like someone stabbed them in the back of the head with great force. Others have jaw injuries.
Does any of us look at sort of the superhuman level, or
No. Just,
something that
I don't know how you would determine that.
Mainly
The
from
jaw,
a knife.
the jaw is injured but intact. I think at the superhuman level, the jaw would be gone.
Yeah. So okay.
The knife wound to the back of the head is a small slit, you know, like a very fine weapon, just in and out.
Almost like a
So
mono knife.
it's very precise.
Yeah, almost like a mono knife. You would suspect that a mono knife was used in this.
Interesting. I would also like to go see through the priest's desk for notes or anything, a journal of any sorts.
There are several such. He has two different types of journals. One appears to be a personal recounting of his life that he's leaving behind for his family and his predecessors, and it begins with, "I don't know why I'm writing this," and the first entry is listed as being over 50 years ago. The second is a recounting of church records, Ministorum archive.
I'd like to look through the records.
Okay, Antipho. At some point, the preacher looks out at the folks and has a particularly triumphant moment where he's letting their cheers wash over him. He turns around and sees you standing at the open chapel doors, being held back by Progena, and he starts wrapping up the sermon with high speed. He sees you sitting there patting this girl on the head, and she's like trembling and shaking. He's just like, "In the Holy Emperor's light, return to your work. Tonight, the church will be closed as usual, but a morality play will be held at an off-site location. Details will be to follow by Vox. Blessings be upon all of you." And he like turns around and starts lurching his way back towards Tempestus. Can I help you with something?
No, we're fine here.
Progena, return to your cleaning duty. Tempestus, can I
I
help
like when
you
she
with
goes to
something?
walk away, I like hand her a sandwich as she goes by.
Where are you getting all of these sandwiches?
Oh, I stock up on them every time I leave the mansion.
You are taking sandwiches out of the planetary governor's mansion?
They're quite good.
I see.
Like one materializes and I take a bite.
Where did you get that one from? You just opened your hand and a sandwich appeared there.
So he already had another bandolier. They're just full of sandwiches.
What is this
I actually
heresy?
had to dump the ammo out of the first bandolier to put the sandwiches in there.
So he looks around and goes, "Where is the rest of your team? The other gentleman that was here,
Oh, they're investigating about.
the Acolyte."
I believe he went to go look at what was going on with those skulls.
He went into
Yes.
my office.
Possibly. I'm not entirely certain.
Why don't you come with me? It's unusual. I wouldn't want him to disturb anything. Everything is right where I wanted it to be. He starts moving with slightly more haste than before, like swish, swish, swish. I would hate for him to knock anything over. You know, it takes 20 or 30 years when you become a preacher in order to settle yourself into an office. Really, you have to know where all the books are.
Really, that long?
Yes, of course. I mean,
Why?
there are so much scripture to know, and then you have to debate. There are conflicting points. You never know which side you're going to come at an issue on. And the interaction between imperial law and the Lex Imperialis and the faith of the imperial cult and the ecclesiarchy, the interactions
look
can be
around
theologically complex.
There is only one side to come in on. Side of the Emperor. I just
The side of the Emperor can be interpreted in different ways. We all must do as the Emperor wills it, but the Emperor's will can be difficult to discern for mortal men. That is why it is left to us Ministorum free. Put that down! What are you... So he's walked around the corner and is looking at Lycus, like, looking over Ministorum records. He's just like, put that down! Those very sensitive documents.
Oh, he's looking at me.
Yes.
Are you here at me now?
Yes. Antipho's right beside him, and he's just like, those
Takes
could be
him by the
injured if you mishandle them. Parchment that they are inscribed onto is very delicate.
Please, I know how to handle the parchment here. Deal with it on a regular basis. It's quite a pain, really.
Why are you sitting in my chair, using my magnifying glass? It's all very unusual.
I'm investigating.
I understand that, but why would my church records have anything to do with these skulls? I didn't know that you'd be looking over my...
Well, I'm kind of multitasking at the moment. I didn't see any sort of runes as far as the magnifying glass could show.
Oh, no, I hadn't seen any either, but I was hoping to call in a specialist. I was waiting for our individual who specializes in these kind of things to return.
Who would that be?
Well, he is a confessor, as I
That's
kind
not
of
what I
mentioned.
asked.
He's working towards being a drill abbot.
That is also not what I asked.
What exactly are you asking then?
Who?
Oh, you want his name?
Yes. There you go.
Talrand.
His full name.
Technically, it is
Can we pull
drill
that in
abbot. And again, that title is temporary, as he attempts to earn it. Talrand Aspects.
His last name is Aspects.
Yes, Aspects. ASPEX. I can see you laughing about it.
How unfortunate.
Yes, well, the progenitor named him, so...
Well, when you get a chance, if you can get hold of him, tell him to come here immediately.
I believe I gave you his...
Oh,
box.
was that the gentleman that cleared one of the battle system that was influenced by chaos in?
Yes.
Excellent.
Oh, yes.
I have several things to talk to him about. Did I see anything other unusual in the records when I saw?
You barely had any time to look over them.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
You've just got it open when they arrived.
Okay, well, I'm still just shrumming through then.
Meanwhile,
Mainly just looking for anything.
Are you sure these things are safe in your office?
I'll answer that question when we cut back from the roof. Meanwhile, Eshairr, Kalrak, you're standing around holding a nice mono knife.
Well, we were phoning them.
I know.
Yeah, we were.
They have
relaying
not
information.
answered yet.
Okay.
Oh, I thought replied. Excellent.
Yes.
What I want to look around and see what's the closest building to this chapel, like
So-
rooftop wise.
The tallest nearby is across a rather large street. There is the local precinct fortress of the Adeptus. Sorry, is it Adeptus Arbite? Sure, it's the Arbites.
Yeah,
Precinct
Adeptus
fortress.
Orbitis.
There are two buildings on either side of this chapel. One appears to be a like a ration dispensary where Imperial citizens will come get their daily ration and leave. And the other is like a temporary workers office for people who don't have a steady job. You know, like I work at the factory. They show up here and get their daily assignment.
Yeah. All right. Can I estimate about how far, like the distance between the two rooftops might be?
Which two rooftops?
Which of the two buildings? The ones you mentioned, the dispensary. And
The dispensary and the temporary workers office both
No.
are maybe 3 to 4 feet. That's about how wide the alleyway is.
Oh, shit,
they
that's-
are-
we could jump there.
They are both a good 20 feet lower than this
Okay.
roof.
So, but that's easy within grapnel distance.
Sure.
I'll point out to Eshairr. Someone could easily use a grapnel launcher to climb from those lower rooftops up to here.
Yes, I don't think we'll pick up their trail unless we search every rooftop as well. Unless we can identify, are there structures on the side of the roof that a grapnel would normally attach to, like just poles or pipes or something that might actually be where you would try to attach a grapnel to?
The edge of the entire Ministorum Chapel has like gargoyles, skulls, the kind of general things that you would see, but it's also built up around the sides so that in case of an emergency, this church, the roof could double as a like firing line. It is a reinforced, whatever their version of concrete is. You could like stick a gun on it and kneel down and use it to, at the very least, eat a few rounds before you get shot.
Okay, so you could definitely grapnel up. They could just
Yeah, there's plenty of stuff for this to get stuck on.
yeah. If it's made of rockcrete, then they could grapple up anywhere. Then, because if I remember right, like a grapnel line is like 30 meters of line, something like that. Whatever. It's a pretty good distance that you could launch one of those things up because you're firing it from a gun. You're not just like chucking it by hand.
In which case, we could look for damage where where the grapnel may have dug in, but
Yeah,
it'd be hard to distinguish that from just wear and tear on the building.
correct. And also, if they're keeping the like concrete, rockcrete gets dirty, if they're keeping it clean as chapels are wanting to do. My cat's losing his goddamn mind. Yeah, it's gonna be. I mean, we can look and see if there's any like chips taken out. Like I imagine like a claw of like a grapnel might do, but as far as like wear and tear, yeah, it'll be pretty hard.
Okay. Make an investigation check. Difficulty 3.
I would like to invoke the use of my improved Astartes eyesight with the oculobe to can I get an extra die on that one?
Absolutely. Why not?
All right, so I'm doing a investigation.
You paid 100 experience for it. You might as well get something out of it.
All right, so
I got 4 with a 6 on the Wrath dice.
Fantastic.
fuck me.
You
Fuck
got
all.
2 with a 6 on the rat die. So
Yeah.
something about 6 on a wrath die is that significant here?
Only if you can shift it, really. Which we can't.
You do not have enough to shift then. Yeah, you definitely locate what appears to be the point of entry. It's not so much that it blends in with the rest of the general wear and tear damage. It's that this exact spot has been used repeatedly over the last few nights. The level of aiming and precision to arrive this is either superhuman or at the edge of inhuman. Whatever throw is making this is landing on the same skull's eye and attaching itself firmly inside the nose to be climbed up on.
So it's definitely a skilled individual.
Would seem so.
Okay.
And this is coming from, can we tell which building it's come from?
It is coming from either someone is making an extremely long throw from on top of the fortress precinct, or it is coming from the rationary's roof.
Okay.
Which is only about 10 feet tall. It's a one-story building, so getting on top of it would not take a particular difficulty, especially for someone with a grapnel.
Well, if they've
3-4 meters.
they've already. I mean, if they get a mono knife, they probably easily have access to a grapnel launcher because they're pretty common as far as I remember. So
I didn't get a good look at the desecration that was mentioned. What about it gave the Acolyte the idea that it was done by a servant of the Lord of the Brass Throne?
just general
skulls and blood, really. I believe that's what he's going on. I managed to taste the blood, and it's definitely poison, so I'm leaning more towards a death cult member.
Did we want to investigate further these roofs, or should we go back and talk to the others since they haven't responded to our calls yet?
I believe we
They
should
could be
see
in
what
trouble.
the others are up to. Yes. There's no telling what they could be up to. Probably dealing with the child. I don't, well, it might be amusing at the very least. So we can go ahead and head back down. I mean, there's not really much more we can glean from this rooftop.
Yep.
I don't think so.
Okay. You head back down and you catch your good friends in the office in a discussion. Where were you leading your questions with this wonderful preacher who you've invaded his office and stolen his chair and all of his stuff?
Steal his chair. He'll get it back.
I am the captain now.
I'm afraid you're going to kill this man before you leave.
I mean, depending on how the
I'm afraid you're going to
conversation
kill all the children before you leave at this point.
always a possibility.
Killing an Arbites is one thing, or an enforcer is one thing. Killing a preacher might be that's another kettle of fish.
No, that's a little bit different.
Yeah,
It's always a possibility, though.
I mean it's 40K. It's always a possibility, but I just don't recommend it.
I love
Where
the way you
were we
brought
in
killing the preacher, not the children.
I see.
You know,
I mean, I'm not particularly bothered either way, but
Can I request of you, priest, is to get in contact with your man to investigate these skulls? I would like to speak with them forthwith.
Yeah, I mean, I've given you his information. I suppose I could call him myself on the Vox if you'd allow me access to my desk.
Oh, of course. Would you think he would come here faster if you called him, or if he would come here faster if I called him?
He outranks me, so
I will call him then.
I could request his presence as a social nicety.
thank you. You've been very helpful.
Try that first, and then if that doesn't work out,
would you like a sandwich?
Servitor, enter call mode, and the servitor plugs its arm into the wall and like reaches inside itself and pulls out a Vox for you to use.
Lycus will take the Vox while still looking through like the records.
So he turns to Antipho as you start placing the call, and he's like, "That one was very nice, you know. I know his children. It was an honor to turn him into a servitor. It's done great work for me. Always cleans my office. Very, very nice.
Well, good. I'm glad you found a good one.
Yes. Yeah. Not all of them are. Sometimes you get one of these servo skulls, and you think, oh, it's going to be an honored member of the Imperium. But it'll do great work. Of course, then it just slams into things randomly, you know? Just...
Well, sometimes the temperament carries on.
I tried to quell the machine spirit inside it, but I am no, Adeptus Mechanicus tech priest. I just kind of ask it very nicely to do the Emperor's will, and sometimes it just floats listlessly to the left. I just can't understand it.
Have you tried incense?
No, I tried turning it off once, but then it started screaming at me in binary.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it can be turned off.
Hmm.
You place the call, and you eventually connect through on a comm bead, and hear, this is Drill Abbot Talrond Aspects. Who is speaking with me? You're muted.
Someone who is muted.
Yeah, I am Lycus Santoro. I have been informed that you were the ones who had that you were the one that I need to speak about to investigate some skulls, and the one who was in charge of the what we're looking for, giving clearance to those to be put in jail for a particular sister of battle.
I see. Well, let me try to unpack this, and you can you can hear someone in the background just like grunting, and he's like, "That's right, maggot, stay down." My apologies. I'm in the middle of work.
You can put your work on hold. I need you here at the chapel for.
I'm sorry. I don't know who you. Don't just call me. My work at this progena takes the utmost importance. There would be very few things that could override my training of the finest minds of the next generations of the Imperial service.
I'm an Inquisitorial Acolyte, and I'm on investigation that you are now a part of.
I will attend you immediately.
Thank you.
What is your location, Acolyte?
I am at the chapel.
I understand. I will be there presently.
Thank you.
Man, his tone changed real fucking quick.
You can't make demands of me? Oh, you can make demands of me. Okay. Well then.
I stand corrected.
So simpler. People just came to when I asked.
So the four of you are gathered in the room with.
Well, he is an important man.
With the preacher. The preacher is sitting at his desk and just seems to be like awkwardly looking at the four of you. The room is large enough to hold all of you and him and the servitor, but it's his private office. So he's just like, yes, well, gentlemen.
Yes?
Yes.
I'm just like standing there, arms crossed, staring at him awkwardly, blankly.
Is
Does
there...
it have any offensive capability?
Sorry, what was the question?
At all? Does the servitor have any offensive capability? Any weapons on it? Obvious? Is it just very large?
It is a security servitor, so... Oh, you're asking me. Yes, it is a security servitor. It does have basic defensive weapons capability, and it should be unusually strong as well.
Okay.
I think if Lycus doesn't find anything of particular interest of a time period where the battle system will be let in, he'd probably just put the records back down. I'll leave you to your office. We'll be staying here for the night to investigate your other problem. It appears that it's more than likely a death cultist, so perhaps we'll have someone else on our side if we can convince them otherwise.
If you believe it to be so, then perhaps it will be. Perhaps, can I offer you a private room where you might stay during the day? You said that I shouldn't change anything, so I'm going to have the chapel open for normal services throughout the day. We should be getting open right about now, really.
Yeah, it's a place where we can stay out of your way until we need to conduct our business this evening would be most appreciated.
There's a room that we keep for guest lecturers and traveling firebrands and the like. Probably isn't large enough for all four of you to move about freely, but it will be small and somewhat uncomfortable. But I'm sure that you've encountered worse in your time with the Inquisition.
Yes, that will do us most nicely.
Well,
at least until I can't remember his name at the moment.
The drill abbot, Talrond Aspects.
Yes.
Well, why don't you follow me? Let me tell you, Talron's been rolling through my my parish for some time now. He's like doing the walk and talk. It's the Aaron Sorkin West Wing walk and talk. You know, as you guys are going, the camera continually shifts to be in front of you.
Yeah.
He's in training to be a drill abbot, you know. I would suspect that he's quite good at it. It inspires great fear in all of the Progena, and is also particularly good at teaching them, you know, various martial arts and physical combat capabilities. I understand that he's seen quite a bit of combat himself. He's a renowned former Tempestus, who's driven by immense faith to become a Ministorum preacher. It was rather unusual, really, but, you know, someone has to become a drill abbot anyway. His training remains uncompleted, of course, without access to Holy Terra. You know, Without access to Holy Terra, what can we do but carry on?
Do we make you nervous, priest?
Well, yeah. There's blood in my cathedral. There's skulls on my desk. Who knows who's being killed out there? And now I have the Inquisition on my door.
Do not but perform your duties, priest. The Emperor protects.
Yes, of course the Emperor protects. I just,
Are you still alive?
I am indeed still alive.
Only in death does duty end.
There is a small part of me that is mildly offended that you would preach to me inside my own chapel.
You seem to need it.
I'm not even.
I am sorting through my feelings.
There are implants for that, you know.
And look, here's the room.
How convenient. We've arrived at the spot. Now fuck off.
He does indeed fuck off. It is essentially a larger version of the individual cells that you saw before, where the confessed renouncing heretics were placed.
Okay.
There's a bed, and there's like a table, a chair, and some sort of lighting fixture, and a bench along the wall, but there's clearly not enough space for all of you to feel comfortable, and definitely not enough space for all of you to sit.
All right.
My question is, who scrambles in and takes what seating?
I suggest, since we will be up this evening, that those of you that need it should get in some rest and sleep now. I will stand guard by the door, as I do not require sleep.
I sit down on the bed next to the wall, and I pull the pillow out from underneath me and rest my head up against the wall there, so there's enough space on the bed for someone else to sit down if they want to.
I'm assuming if I'm not sitting in the room, there's probably substantially more space. Plus, Eshairr's smaller than a human anyway, so it shouldn't be terrible.
And I have a bedroll in my equipment.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I think you guys should get some rest, and then I'll just stand guard by the door.
I need to speak with Tyrone when he gets here.
That's true.
Oh yeah, that guy.
I could stand by and then get you whenever he arrives.
I'll show the Acolyte as well, the mono knife too.
Oh yeah, no, we fill him in as soon as we get in the room, as soon as we get the chance.
I'm not sure what it is that made you feel that the touch of the archenemy is upon this, but certainly this would indicate that whoever wielded this knife was at one point a true servant.
They were also using a grapple to access the roof, as far as we can tell, so they're definitely skilled in whatever their profession is.
The scout indicated that the presence of skulls and blood keyed you towards the influence of chaos, but I mean, I couldn't walk more than 15 feet into this cathedral without literally bumping into a skull.
One floats outside, just kind of turns and looks at you when you say that. It's a little green, cybernetic, just
outside the door, just two skulls just bump into each other and then float.
It's more of a matter of just caution, just to be sure.
It never hurts to be cautious, but my throne guilt is on a death cult, a misled death cult member, rather than the influence of the ruinous powers.
That's a nice looking knife.
It is indeed a nice looking knife.
Antipho's like, be a shame if it entered my inventory. Soup.
Twould be a shame to go to waste.
I mean, we could definitely turn that in. I mean, mono knives are.
It's like, I'll put that in my right hand, and I'll use the orc chopper in my left hand.
Do you know, James, does the game differentiate like Dark Heresy does between regular blades and mono blades?
Yes, mono blade is
yeah.
a advanced version of a regular blade.
Yeah,
They've got the penetrating quality.
Okay,
and
yeah,
they're
that's what I was wondering. Because
I have a normal knife. I could replace it with a mono knife.
well, the thing about mono knife is like literally the edge is like it's a single like molecule, like it's it's as sharp as a knife can possibly be. Yeah. I mean, if you want to, I mean, it's too small for me to really use. If you already want to replace it with a normal one.
Well, right now I have it, unless someone's taken it off me.
No one has taken it from you yet.
I'm just saying, if nobody else wants it, you know.
That's not a knife. Pull out the Astartes one. That's a knife. Wait till we need to get you a knife from a Catachan jungle fighter. That's a proper knife. AKA a short fucking sword.
I just put it back in my pack for the time being without answering.
Yeah, I think it'll be fine for now. But
Antipho looks mildly dejected.
it's fine. You're walking around with a two-handed fucking axe. I think you'll be okay.
Axe probably weighs almost as much as you do. So
It probably does. It's a giant two-handed weapon. Yeah. Right. So, what's our order of operations here? You guys gonna get some rest, or?
My understanding
Still have
was
to talk to what's his name.
Well, we gotta wait for what's his name to get here. But even then, Lycus could stay up. You guys can get some sleep or whatever, because we're gonna be up all night.
I mean, I'm a soldier. I take sleep whenever, wherever I can get it.
Yeah, exactly. And I literally don't need this. I mean, I can go for like a week, 2 weeks without sleep. So
I'll try to take rest and before.
catalepsy mode.
I will also rest.
Cool. I will stand sentry outside the door. And then
the door.
I will be the door. I am the door.
Eshairr, what are you doing?
So I'm resting as well. Yeah.
Okay.
Pull out
So
the-
two
pull
of
out
you are
the bedroll.
sleeping or attempting to rest in some way. Lycus, where are you waiting for your new best friend?
Probably near the jail cells. That way
Okay.
I'm not
Well,
like-
you're right near there.
Oh, okay. Well, this is just pretty much my area where I am at that.
Okay.
That way I'm out of the way of everything else, and
Yeah, you probably blend in the most out of all of us.
yes.
So you guys are in the administrative side of the chapel. I mean, you can hear that there are people coming in to confess, to seek guidance. There's like a constant babble of conversation going on from that side of the church. It's hard to discern anything in particular with all of the echoing and all of the talking. But as the day wears on, it begins to lessen. Coming from the side with the vehicle pool from the other direction, the next thing you see, Lycus, is a man wearing ecclesiarchal robes. He is clutching at his gut. He appears to have been stabbed, and the hem of his robe is torn, and he's lurching towards you and says, "Talon, help me, please! Help me! There's chaos out there!" As he
Where?
lurches towards you. "Please, help me! Who are you?"
I'm Lycus. I don't know if there's anything I can do to help.
So he says, "My name is Talon Despix. Please."
Oh, yes, I've been expecting you. Oh, I should probably get you healed.
As that happens, from the door that he entered through, from the garage vehicle bay, people begin pouring in. They are all deeply tanned. They come with facial tattoos, horrifying scarification, mohawks, shaved heads. Nothing is standard Imperial. They're waving around blades and pipes. Some of them have what appear to be makeshift pistols. One of them stops and screams, "Blood for the blood god, skulls for the skull throne!" As the rest of them begin cheering and they pour into the building.
Ah, fuck.
Do we wake up?
Oh, I mean, all of you very clearly hear this. And as you could see, a flood of servo skulls moving past Lycus, trying to hide in any of the monastic cells, moving in
Immediately
towards
whip
the
out
chapel.
my heavy gun and go and kick the door open, and it hits. I swear I'll get these names down.
Lycus?
Kalrak.
It hits Kalrak in the back and then just swings closed again. I'm like, damn it!
It's just like it's a ding. It's like,
Does
This,
that
my
story
friends.
size dent into the door now?
This, my friends, is where we shall end this. Pick it up next time.
Fuck.
Combat. Because I'm not. I need a map to do this. It's going to be involved. It's going to be.
Yeah. Get with me on that, and I'll see what I can whip up if you want.
All right, I'll work on it.
Boy, that extra ammo sounded mighty good right about now.
I didn't get the chance to use my card. I could have revealed someone that's not appeared to be.
True.
That would've been great.
You could have said
Should
I
be
am
a little
Alfargus.
girl.
Here's a question with the campaign cards. Maybe you can interest teams. We've got one, and we want to keep it the next session. Is that a thing we can do, or do we always have to get new ones?
You get a new one at the start of every
Okay.
session. I'm going to recover your campaign cards right now, actually. Keep them.
Hide it in the drawer.
No, you can't have that.
Damn.
Mine now.
Heroes of the Warp is a good one, especially when you're dealing with. Well, maybe not with Khorne, but
You know, all those Cornish psychers that'll show up.
there are Khornate psychers. They do exist.
Really?
Yeah, it's a Khornate psychers are a weird one. Like there's some like if it's from their own innate power, it's one thing. If they do it, it's complicated, but they do exist.
Now, what they tend to do is they'll capture psychers who are not followers of Khorne, but are still psychers, and they sort of put like an iron to it, and then poke them to make them use psychic powers.
Well,
Okay.
there are a couple that are like as long as it's like if it's from their own psychic potential, they're not like doing a ritual to like they're not drawing it from like kind of like stealing it. Kind of it's a weird thing, but there are a couple of them in the lore that exist, but they are very few because they usually die very quickly.
Make sure everything's good. You guys can take 3 build points as your experience for this particular session.
Puts us at what 23 total? Or sorry, 18 total.
Yes, 18 total.
Okay.
You can spend them at any time. If
Yeah, I'm just making sure that we had the correct amount.
Allow me to say, friends, I hope you are keeping notes because there is clearly heresy afoot here.
Really, what gave it away?
Who knows where this investigation will end? Let's do some outros. James, where are you at on this? Got any, got any
on the
thoughts?
game?
Got any theories? And of course, your outro.
I mean, like I feel like a bit of a dick figure around the whole time, saying, "Oh, it might not be Khorne, might not be Khorne," and suddenly the people running yelling "Blood for the Blood God."
I mean,
Sound like a.
it could have been either or. I mean, really, like
Well, I think switches. These are 2 different instances.
it could
Yeah,
very
yeah.
well be. I mean,
I suspect so.
agents of Khorne usually are not very subtle, right? So that's why I
Does
was
not
like,
appear
I
to
think
be
it's-
subtlety in invading in the middle of
Well,
the
I'm
day.
just saying, like, Death Cult is Death Cult assassins. They're called assassins for a reason. Versus Khornate, they're very like agents of Khorne. They'll stab you in the face, but they won't stab you in the back. They're just very upfront about what they're doing. So it's like, yeah, and if they're using grapnels, they're sneaking through vents, right? They're being very sneaky about it. I was like, yeah, but it could very well be both at the same time.
Because these
So.
are 2 different issues happening at the same time.
Yeah.
Was from,
I think I concur with that they're both factions are involved here. Obviously, the Khornate one, I mean, duh, but the other one I believe is Death Cult. So we'll see. We'll see.
Indeed. No, but I thought it was a fun game, and yeah. So what about me? I got a podcast up last week. So episode 106. We had a guest. It's on our website now, on iTunes and Stitcher and all the regular places. Obviously not at Gen Con this week, or else I'd be sitting in a hotel room with horrible internet connection. But I have reached out to and spoken with Doc King from Cubicle 7 Game about Wrath&Glory. So I will look to get probably one of the Cubicle 7 team onto the podcast in the near future to talk about the development of the game as well. I think they've been pretty quiet on any discussion about Wrath&Glory at Gen Con, only because I think they're still relatively fresh to the IP. More stuff about Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay going on though. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, that's me. Just podcasting and work and painting minis at the moment. Got
You
my Drakari being worked on currently?
So if you manage to ask them some questions, I want to know what they're working on for Space Marine supplements because we need them. I need them.
Oh, look. So
This man wants to be a
GW in the
tech
past,
marine.
I can tell you that it's very rare that they'll say anything outside of what's already been published. GW are really, really tight on information leaks, so there'll be a lot of yep, can't say. We'd really love to do that. That they won't commit to release dates or what the content of the new book is until it's actually announced. But you can talk about things like who's involved and what they hope for in the series, that sort of stuff. But yeah, certainly when we see Space Marine stuff, I expect either eventually or soon to be the non-committal answer.
Yeah, well, if we get to the point to where we do the next Ascension thing or whatever before we actually get some official stuff, I mean, I think the one that I posted is not. It seems pretty in line with everything else. It's just adds that as an option because there's not a tech marine option in the base thing, which is odd. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Okay. Got anything else, James?
No, that's it for me.
Comic. Let's
go watch the boys.
Yeah, I need to watch the boys. I've been binging Hell's Kitchen for some reason because about a guildmate of mine in Warcraft is like, hey, he drops memes from that all the time. I'm like, fuck, now I gotta watch it. So I started like last week and I'm already on season 10 of that because I just have it up on playing Elite Dangerous. Thomas Bruin on Twitch and Twitter. I stream Warcraft stuff Tuesdays, Thursdays. I've been streaming some Elite Dangerous just whenever. Mostly just been farming Federation rep. I think I'm a midshipman or somewhere, whatever. I'm trying to get to the Federal Corvette. I'm here on Wednesdays playing New Game Plus with Dave, Sputnik, and Germboy. That'll be fun. We've been doing some shenanigans in that. My cat's losing his mind, as you can probably hear. And then I'm here on Saturdays playing Wrath&Glory. That's about it. And then maybe if life doesn't get in the way, Pondo and I can stream some Total War Warhammer sometime. It'd be pretty cool. So that's it. That's me.
Pondo, what do you got?
I'm Pondo or Pondo the Mad. You catch me on YouTube or Twitch. That's Pondo the Mad, where I play video games and whatnot. I'm not working on anything at the moment, except for my own personal stuff. I'm on here Thursday nights while I'm playing BattleTech with Sid. I am also on a pre-recorded show for Pokemon that shows up whenever APs goes on vacation. We've meeting somewhat consistently, so I don't know how many episodes we have on.
Yeah, like 3 or 4 episodes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think about 3.
That sounds right.
Because I haven't invested any points into it for 3 episodes. So yeah. That's about it.
Okay. Did. You're a person. You have things to say.
I am a person. I do have things to say. A lot of times people have a difficult time getting me to shut up. That's the thing that happens. So yeah, I had a lot of fun tonight. I'm looking forward to trying out the new toys next weekend. The big choppa and the bolter and the bolt pistol. Those will be fun new toys to play with because I have a feeling this is probably gonna be more of a close quarters combat. And yeah, I'll be back on Thursday for some more BattleTech where hopefully Bandito will not get horribly murdered. And also, hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll be able to take a clan dropship. A little bit less optimistic about that one, but we'll see how it goes. And in the meantime, I've got more videos that'll be coming out over the course of the week at my YouTube channel, youtube.com/SidAlpha. I also have the weekly Line of Sight video over at Exclusively Games that comes out every Monday. And yeah, so don't forget to check all those out. And that's me. That's what I got.
Okay. Well, I'm Arthur Perkins. This has been APGamingREAL. Next week we'll have I won't say beautiful, but we will have a combat that will look better than what I could throw together in 20 minutes here. So, yeah. Join us. Everybody's good for next week?
Yeah. Hopefully my internet's not being a piece of shit, and so we start on time.
Join us next week. There will be shooting. No one will shout the word Space Marines.
if they do, I'm going to shove my chainsword in their face. I mean, I'm going to do that anyway, but especially if they do that.
That's it then. Have a good night. Swish, fire noises.